we had looked into doing UV reactive carpet at the old arcade. And when I looked up the prices for some of this is the stuff made for like bowling alleys and arcades and other places. I looked up the prices for this, and the price per square foot was kind of crazy. Especially that we're in Canada, and I couldn't really find a company in Canada that sold this stuff, so I had to import it all from the US. We thought it was prohibitively expensive, and we instantly wrote it off. So I wanted to do something really fun with the floors at the old location, but one thing after another, we decided it would be better to find a new location and do something fun there. If you've been following the saga, you know exactly why. Anyway, so we got here. This place, light industrial for years and years and years. Building was built, I think, mid-70s, and over the years, the floors would be painted, they'd be repainted, they'd have a bunch of stuff done to them. I don't think the last tenants here did anything other than use heavy machinery on them, which created a lot of extra dust and dirt and everything. And they're not a baker, they're a sheet metal, or they're a stainless steel manufacturing company. So it didn't matter if their floors weren't 100% perfect, because who cares? So we had to grind all of that off, which was a task in itself. It's a fairly big space. So we had to grind the floors. We had rented a sander, and we brought the sander in here, and we just fought with it. The power switch wouldn't work correctly. The thing would turn on, it would lunge to one side, and then power would cut off. It was just a nightmare. So we took it back. It was actually broken. They got it fixed, and then we came back and we did it again. Essentially what we did was we sanded the floor. We swept and vacuumed the floor several times. I was going to power wash the floor and just use water and soap and everything and just blow all of that out, but we were actually getting pretty pressed for time at that point. I figured in this space, the majority of the floor has pinball machines and arcade machines over it. We just have sort of this alleyway that I'm walking in that is mostly revealed. If it starts to flake in little areas, I can always patch it with some more black epoxy, and or even just some shiny black paint and call it a day. It won't be a really big deal. We're an arcade, it's the floors aren't the end all be all of our business. But we wanted them to be fun, and they are fun. Black epoxy, 2-part epoxy, UV reactive flakes thrown around. And then up above me, lots and lots of black lights just flooding the floors with UV light, and the little speckles just glow and shine. And it's really fun, and I've had a lot of fun comments on it. So this is kind of how we did it. Sort of a breakdown of the process. The sanding took basically all day. Okay, here we go again. Attempt number two. We had rented one of these sanders previously from Home Depot, which I guess you can't fault them because stuff breaks. Stuff like this breaks. It's what happens. Power switch stopped working on us after just this little bit of sanding on the floor that you can almost see because it's so dirty. We're gonna give this another chance. We're gonna try and sand off everything we possibly can. There's a bunch of old paint on here, some other stuff. The way I sort of figure it is that it doesn't have to be perfect. I don't care. We're gonna have the bulk of it is gonna be covered. If some of it comes up, then I'm just gonna hit it with some glossy black spray paint. It's a big space. There's mostly gonna be machines covering probably 50% of the floor. So if it starts to flake up in a little area here or there, myself, I don't care. But this is just, we're running out of time. That's the other thing. So I have to get this all sanded and prepped and ready today, and in 2 days, we're going to dump the epoxy on the floor, which will be fun. Because it was fun when we did the bathrooms, right? Those came out pretty good.
Look at that.
And it glows.
Oh wow. Doesn't really do it justice.
Off the light for quite a while.
And this is what we're sanding the floor with, are these super abrasive, diamond-y probably. It doesn't like screw in place, it just sort of slips in place, and then the torque of the machine spinning it around holds it in place. So yeah, you don't want to play with it when it's leaning back like that. Anyway, all right. All right, you can't really tell, or maybe you can, I don't know. It's all been sanded down. This area, these dark spots, not that one, there's one. These dark spots here, this is like some sort of oily dirt shellac. It was a real pain to get up. Some of this area, this is just some gray paint that's down. If the lighter spots, like I really just let the thing sit and grind away. But I think for the most part, we're pretty good. We got a fair amount of stuff up. I think I might do a little bit. Some of this is black paint when I painted some of this stuff up here, but it's staying put from the sander grinding away at it. So I figure if it can deal with some of that, it can deal with having a layer of epoxy put over it. So it's all been vacuumed up. I'm gonna come in tomorrow and we'll do a bit more, some little trouble spots here and there that I've noticed. And then Sunday night, we're going to epoxy this place black. I didn't go through and fill up. There are some divots in the cement. A lot of people fill those up. I didn't really care. I didn't fill them up. We also didn't mask around the wall, just because most of the walls are going to be covered by pinball machines. You won't see the edges and everything, and it wasn't that big of a deal. I didn't really care. So a day of sanding and everything, another day of sweeping and vacuuming and kind of cleaning out the crevices and everything, getting it all ready to go. And then the black epoxy took, probably start to finish, probably took about 4 hours maybe. It has a smell.
That Amazon warehouse smell. Oh, that's gonna look crazy though.
All right, we're ready to go. What we've got this day glow multicolored flakes that we're going to throw into the epoxy floor. We've got 12 gallons of black epoxy. Left over, we have 6 gallons of white epoxy. And worst case scenario, we have that's a small amount of gray epoxy. Probably won't use that. I think we have enough black. If we don't have enough black, we're going to go over, we're going to start here, we're going to move this way, we're going to come over here, we're going to do all black over here. If we run out, this area we're going to do up in white. And multiple colors and other things. So, the idea is, put the black down, get that all ready, throw this shredded dehydrated clown parts all over the place. And then, like we did on the white floors, we have more UV reactive pigments. We can mix that up with clear, and we can dribble that all over, and we can kind of mess around with stuff. So we have all these different colors here that are UV reactive. So we'll just mix those individually and kind of splatter paint if we need to. I think that's about it. So let's mix our stuff and then go.
Do you need a spatula? Oh,
Oh, it's like molasses. Oh, scary. I got something wrong.
right?
This is actually good. Now we can leave one of these in.
Ah, yeah, that's smart.
Is that recording?
Yeah.
That's the good stuff.
Dang, that's gonna look good.
Pretty darn black.
Right. We would mix the epoxy 3 gallons at a time. We dump it out. I use a squeegee to spread it out, and then a roller brush to thin it and make it nice and even.
Do you want your squeegee? Shot, just so you know. Or like, actually, if you move that over, then I'll move this up, and we'll just keep it at this line. Do you want to say anything, Seven?
It's hard work. Give us a dance. It's like spraying molasses on the floor.
This hard-working guy over here. Look at this.
After that, we went through and I just sprinkled the sprinkles down, the little flakes all over the place. I tried to get them even. They're kind of clumpy in some spots. I'm perfectly fine with it. Now, I bought 5 different colors of the UV reactive flakes to put into it. If I had to do this again, I'm not going to combine the colors. What I'll do is I will do them in sections. I like all the different colors, but on a floor like this, unless you're right up and close to it, all the colors from a little bit of a distance, they just kind of look like white. Like there's no real distinctive color involved in it. So I would do like a section in green and then a section in blue with some overlap and kind of do it that way. I think that would be a little bit neater, a little cooler looking. But I'm happy with the way that it look now. I just think that doing colors in bigger sections, not mixing them all together, would probably be a little bit more effective. So if you're going to do it at home or in your arcade, you might consider that. Okay, so there we go. We've got all the sprinkles down. We'll come back in a day or two, let it cure, and we'll come back and see how it is. So overall, I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. I have scratched the heck out of it, moving machines, sliding machines around. We're also fighting with how do we keep it clean. We haven't come up with a good method. We're using a mop, we're using a dust mop, we're doing a bunch of other stuff. We'll figure something else out. The scratches I'm not too terribly concerned with. I figure that the whole thing is super gloss when we started, and probably in a year from now, it will be sort of a low gloss, like a semi-gloss, because it'll just kind of be scratched up and stuff. You can't prevent the scratches. I'm just going to embrace them, right? I love them. I think they're great. I've had a lot of comments on them. People seem to like it a lot. And the only thing that I would do different is just doing the color flakes. Each individual color, I'd probably still go with the 4 or 5 different colors, but I would do them in larger sections. I think that would look a lot better than mixing all the colors together. But that's a matter of taste. Overall, good stuff. I love it. So if you have any questions on doing this, you could always contact me, leave me a message, or drop me a comment. I will put in the description below anything relevant. All right, thanks for watching.